My beloved child, I, the Eternal One, am calling you at a moment of great significance. It is not by chance that you hear these words, nor is it by coincidence that you find yourself placed in this precise moment in history. I have destined for you to be present to listen and to confront the truth that many still choose to ignore. Child, from the very beginning I have seen you, I shaped you in the womb, and I have set a deep purpose in your life. But now as darkness spreads and evil prevails, the time for testing and purification has arrived. The fire I am about to ignite will be unlike any fire that mankind has ever known. It will be both destructive for the wicked and refining for the souls who yearn to walk in the light. Remember, I am a God of patience. I have given you and all of humanity many opportunities to return to forsake evil and to seek righteousness. But just as a father patiently waits for his lost child to return, I have extended grace time and again. Yet this grace is not infinite within the bounds of this world. There are moments when grace must make way for judgment, for true love cannot allow evil to reign unchecked. I am not a God who tolerates darkness, for if I did, justice would lose its meaning, and love would become indifference. Therefore, my child, today I declare the time of purification has come, and my fire shall be kindled. People tremble when they see fire, for they think of destruction, loss, and pain. But the fire I am about to light does not only have a destructive presence. For those who belong to me, it is a refining fire, like the refiner who melts silver and gold, burning away the impurities to keep the pure. Do not be afraid of this fire. Prepare your heart, open your soul, so that my fire may sweep away the chains that bind you, the chains of desire, doubt, pride, and the habits that have weighed your soul down. If you allow this fire to touch you, you will be set free. You will become stronger, and your faith will be as steadfast as refined gold. Do not forget the words written in the Holy Scriptures. He will be like a refiner's fire, like launderer's soap. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and silver. Malachi 3:2-3. That word is still alive to this day. However, this very fire will become a consuming wrath for those with hardened hearts. Those who deliberately reject the truth, choosing darkness over light, will see their proud works crumble in an instant. They have labored to build castles with greed, cunning, and lies, but all will turn to ashes under the heat of my fire. I do not rejoice in burning, but my justice demands a clear distinction between light and darkness. No blending will be tolerated. You will see that what is built on the foundation of nothingness will quickly pass away, but that which is built on faith and obedience to me will last forever. You may wonder, why tonight? Why not another day? My child, understand that I act at the right time. Grace has been abundantly given. Warnings have been repeated, and signs have been clear all around. Yet mankind still rejects, still chases after fleeting pleasures, still ignores the call to return. Therefore, the time of judgment cannot be delayed any longer. Tonight is the dividing line, the boundary between patience and action, between the promise of mercy and the execution of justice. My child does not see this as a threat, but as an opportunity. For when I send the fire, those who place their trust in me will be sheltered. They will walk out of the fire with a new nature, radiant and stronger than before. Tonight marks the beginning of a great transformation, and you must choose your position. Recall the stories of old, when I led my people through the desert. They witnessed great wonders, the Red Sea parting, manna falling from heaven, water flowing from the dry rock. Yet they still doubted, still complained. Their hearts were hardened, and because of this, they wandered for 40 years, unable to enter the promised land. See, unbelief caused them to lose their blessings. Do not let doubt steal the opportunity I am offering you tonight. For my child, this opportunity will not come twice. Once the fire has consumed, what is lost cannot be regained. Do not delay, do not hesitate. Prepare your heart, stand firm, for the fire is drawing near. I know when you hear of the fire of judgment, many hearts will tremble, but I want you to look beyond the fear. See the love in this act. Just as a father disciplines his child not to destroy but to correct and set him on the right path, so do I. I burn away evil not because I hate you, but because I love you so much that I cannot allow you to remain in the filth without rescuing you. You must learn to trust in wisdom beyond your understanding. My ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. When I kindle the fire, it is an act of love mixed with justice, a love that cannot compromise with darkness. My beloved child, be strong, for amidst that fire I will be with you. I will never forsake you in the time of trial. On the contrary, I will walk beside you as I did with Daniel's 3 friends in the fiery furnace of old. That fire did not consume them because my presence protected them. Believe that the same will happen to you. When you are faithful and obedient, the fire will only reveal my power and strengthen your faith. Therefore, be courageous. Stand up, for tonight is a fateful night, and I am calling you to be a part of this great refining work. My child, open your heart and receive what I am teaching you. For tonight is not just any ordinary moment. It is the hour when the veil between the visible and the invisible is being lifted. All that has been hidden in darkness will be exposed to the light. You will see that what you and the world have thought to be steadfast is actually like dust before the wind. I, the living God, am coming to shake all things, so that nothing will remain standing on false foundations. You must understand that this is not meaningless destruction, but a cleansing to prepare for the new. Just as a farmer burns the field to clear the weeds before the sowing season, so I am sweeping away that which hinders the fields of blessing from bearing fruit. If you look with your physical eyes, you will see the fire as a threat. But if you look with faith, you will see it as the beginning of renewal. Many generations before you have been reminded of this fire. The prophets have called out, the messengers have warned, and even my beloved Son spoke of the day of judgment. But humanity continues to sink in self-satisfaction. They think that my mercy is a sign that I will not act. They confuse patience with forgetfulness. They mock those who preach the truth, despise those who call for repentance. But I speak to you today, there is no word I have spoken that will return in vain. Everything I have promised will come to pass. Every warning I have given has a time limit, and now you are living in that very moment. The fire I promised is no longer far in the future. It is right before your eyes. You will see a clear division between those who choose the light and those who cling to the darkness. I will no longer allow these two paths to be blurred. Remember, I do not come to spread meaningless fear. I woke up. My child, if I were to leave this world to itself, it would soon destroy itself by its own sin and selfishness. My love will not allow this to happen. Therefore, I light the fire not only to end the old, but also to bring forth the new. Just as a potter breaks a flawed vessel to mold a perfect one, so I am recreating. Do not cling to what is cracked, for it cannot save you. Let me replace it with something lasting. Tonight, my child, you have the opportunity to surrender all that is old, all burdens, all mistakes to me, so that I may burn them away and give you a pure beginning. But I also know that there are hearts of stone who will not listen. They will mock this word, thinking it is just the sound of a passing wind. They will cling to wealth, status, and pleasures, believing these can protect them. But I tell you this, there is no wall strong enough to stop my fire, no treasure precious enough to exchange for eternal life. When I light the fire, all that is built on sand will fall, and only what is built on the rock will stand firm. As my son once said, anyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. Matthew 7:2, 4, 2, 5. You see, it is not knowledge or outward religious rituals that will save you, but obedience and placing your complete trust in me that will allow you to stand firm before the fire. You may wonder, where will I be when the fire burns? My child, I will be right in the middle of that fire. I do not observe from afar. I will enter into it with you. Just as a fourth figure appeared in the furnace with Daniel's friends, so I will be present in your trial. That fire will not consume you, but it will burn away the chains that bind you. What you think is loss will actually be liberation. I will sever the ties you were too afraid to break, and I will remove the habits that have corrupted your soul. You will walk out of the fire, no longer burdened, but light, as one who has just escaped from prison. My child, true freedom does not come from fleeing from pain, but from allowing me to transform you right in the midst of the trial. Prepare your heart with humility. Do not try to bring your old baggage into the fire, for it will be burned. Come to me with empty hands, with a broken heart, and I will make something new in you. Do not fear. My judgment is not like human judgment. People judge to condemn, but I judge to restore. I cut off the rotten parts to save the whole. I burn away the impurities to preserve the pure. Therefore do not retreat, do not run away. Step forward, enter the fire with faith that I am waiting for you on the other side. You will not leave empty-handed, but you will leave with a new nature, with a new life, and with a deeper purpose than ever before. I call on you to be alert. The world will continue to sink into distractions, into illusions of safety, but do not let yourself be swept away. Tonight is a boundary. Either you step into the fire to be refined, or you stand outside and are consumed by it. That decision is one only you can make. I place the choice before you, and you must decide. But remember, if you choose me, you will find the safest refuge. The fire will come, but it will only reveal my love and my power. You will see that amidst the shaking of the world, you will stand firm, not by your own strength, but by the mighty hand of the one who is speaking to you right now. Tonight I am not just speaking to warn you, but also to stir up the hope within you that the world has tried to extinguish. For the fire I kindle is not only to destroy, but to give birth. Imagine a seed lying on the earth. Before it can sprout, its hard shell must crack. It must go through the pain of breaking. But that breaking is the beginning of a new life. My fire is the same. It breaks down the old so that new shoots can arise from the ashes. I want you to understand that every pain in this stage has a purpose. It is not meaningless punishment, but a process of transformation. You will step into a new season, and in order to enter, you must leave behind the old things that no longer fit. The fire is the door through which you must pass. Look at the history of my people to see this clearly. The people of Israel have often strayed from my ways. When they worshipped idols, when they forgot me, and ran after the desires of the flesh, I allowed them to face the consequences. The kingdom fell, cities were burned, and they were scattered among the nations. But even in those ruins I kept my promise. I always left a remnant, a faithful few from whom I would rebuild my work. My child, the fire is not the end, but the beginning of restoration. As the prophet Isaiah wrote, "A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots, a branch will bear fruit." Isaiah 1:1. Even in destruction, new life will emerge. So it is today. I use fire to cleanse, and from it even greater glory will rise. Do not cling to the old things that are gradually falling apart around you. Do not mourn for the things I am burning, for they do not bring life. Do not weep for the doors that are closing, for I am opening new doors that lead you into the promised land. But you must trust, you must walk by faith, not by sight. For your eyes only see the ashes, but my eyes see the new garden rising from the dust. You must hold on to my vision, not just your own emotions. This is difficult, but it is not impossible. You have heard the words spoken, for we live by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Let this word become the truth that guides you in this hour. My child, I am not saying that you will walk through the fire without tears. There will be times when your heart feels torn, when everything familiar is taken away. There will be moments when you do not understand why I allow this to happen, but remember this: I will not forsake you. Every tear you shed I collect, every sigh you utter it reaches my ears. I know the pain you are enduring, but I also know the glorious outcome that awaits you. Just as a mother endures the pain of childbirth, when her child is born, all the suffering becomes joy. The fire you face today is the same, it is the pain of birthing. From this, a new person will be born in you, a person who is strong, pure, and reflects my light. But be alert, for the enemy will try to sow fear in your heart. He will whisper that this fire will destroy you, that you are not strong enough to endure. He will remind you of past failures to make you doubt that I am truly with you. My child, do not believe these lies. Remember that I said, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Isaiah 4:3-2. My words do not change. If I have promised, I will keep it. Do not let the voice of the enemy drown out my voice. Keep your eyes fixed on me, and you will see that the fire will only make you shine brighter, not destroy you. Do not walk through the fire alone. I have given you a community of believers to support you. Just as a coal burns brightly when it is together with others, but cools when it is separated, you too need companions to keep the fire of faith burning. Seek them out, pray together, encourage each other, and stand firm together. When you are weak, they will lift you up. When they stumble, you will raise them. This is the meaning of the spiritual body that I have established. Do not isolate yourself, for isolation is fertile ground for fear and doubt. You need your brothers and sisters, and they need you. My beloved, I am leading you into a season where the fire will bring clear distinction. There is no room for half-heartedness. You must either stand with me or turn away. But I urgently call you, choose life. Step into the fire with trust so that you may emerge as refined gold. From there, you will become a living testimony of my love and power. The world needs witnesses like this, for the darkness grows ever thicker. I am calling you to be light in the darkness, salt in the decay, and a voice in the silence. You will not be able to do this unless you are refined. Therefore, accept this fire as a gift, though it may appear burdensome on the outside. When you do so, you will see that I am not distant. You will see me in the storm, in the fire, in the moments when you think you are at your weakest, and then when the fire subsides, you will look back and realize that you have become a different person, stronger, wiser, closer to me. Tonight, my fire does not come to steal your future, but to give you a future that you never dared to dream. A future built on an unshakable foundation. Me, the Eternal One, the one who loves and protects you forever. As I open a new chapter of Revelation, I want you to understand more clearly the nature of the fire I am about to send down. It is not just an event of destruction in the eyes of man, but a comprehensive renewal in my great plan. Since the creation of the heavens and the earth, I have set periods, seasons, and milestones that no one can alter. Just as the sun rises and sets, as the moon waxes and wanes, as the sowing season follows the harvest, so now it is time for the world to face the season of purification. Do not be surprised when you see all things shaking, for I am the one who stirs. There is no renewal that does not come with movement, just as no seed sprouts unless its hard shell is torn. The fire I am about to kindle is the power that breaks all the chains that have bound humanity in darkness for so long. You may ask, why fire? My child, because fire is the clearest image of purification and separation. Water may cleanse the dirt from the outside, but only fire can burn away the impurities deep within. Fire reveals everything exactly as it is. Gold shines brightly, straw turns to ash. I do not use fire to take vengeance, but to reveal the truth. The world has concealed sin under a mask of cleverness, but before my fire, all lies will be stripped bare. People will no longer have a place to hide behind excuses or false honor. The fire will expose the truth in the soul of every person, and when the truth is revealed, no one can deny my justice. Therefore, tonight is the moment when the truth speaks not with words, but through the fire I am sending down. Remember the stories in the Bible about the fire from heaven. When Elijah faced the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, I answered him with fire from heaven, consuming the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and even the water poured around the altar. 1 Kings 1:8-3-8. This was proof that I am the living God, not the silent idols. That fire was both a sign of my presence and a judgment upon those who deceived my people. My child, tonight I will do the same. I will show the world what is true and what is false, what is my word and what is the deception of man. I will not allow my name to be mocked forever. The fire will prove that I am still reigning and that no one can compare to or replace me. When I act, some will tremble in fear, some will resist, but there will also be souls who bow down in repentance. This is the purpose I desire, to lead people back to humility. The fire is a call to return, a wake-up call to those who are asleep in the illusion of safety. Many of them have heard the call before, but still hesitate, thinking they have more time. They say, "The day has not yet come. We can continue as before." But I say, no more delay. Tonight is the moment I set the boundary between light and darkness. My child, do not stand between two lines, for lukewarmness will be burned with the darkness. Choose to stand firmly with me, for only in me will you find shelter. Do not think that this fire is only for those outside my people. No, my child, even my people must be refined. My house cannot continue to tolerate uncleanness. As it is written, for it is time for judgment to begin with the family of God, 1 Peter 4:17. I will not allow hypocrisy and unbelief to hide among my children. Those who bear my name but are far from me will see all things laid bare. My child, now I call you to examine your heart. Do not look at others. Do not blame the world, but let my fire shine deeply into your soul. Let me remove secret habits, impure thoughts, and unclean motives. If you humble yourself, I will make you an instrument of honor, but if you reject, the fire will burn away what you are holding on to. Do not fear when you hear these words. Fear will make you shrink back, but faith will make you move forward. I do not call you to tremble in confusion, but to be strong in the assurance that I am with you. You may feel as if the world is falling apart, but in reality, I am building a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Remember the words in Hebrews 1:2-8. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful, and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. You will never truly see what is firm until you have experienced the shaking. The fire will burn away the falsehood, but that very fire will also illuminate the new path for you. So, my beloved, prepare your heart like good soil, ready to receive the new seed. Do not hold on to what I am calling you to let go of. Do not mourn the things I am about to burn, for they cannot bring life. Open your hands, give everything to me, and you will see that I will replace it with something far better. The fire is not the end, but the beginning. Tonight, while the world trembles before the fire, you will stand firm if you are in me. You will not only survive, but you will become a living witness to my power and love. And when they ask you, how did you overcome it, you will answer, it is the Lord who kept me through the fire. My child, listen carefully once more, for I want you to understand fully why my fire must come at this hour. The world you live in has accumulated sin to the point that it hangs like heavy dark clouds over the sky. Every lie, Every unjust act, every drop of innocent bloodshed has contributed to making the sky even darker. If I do not intervene, wickedness will completely overwhelm and destroy what I have created good. My child, I will never remain silent when sin spreads to the point of destroying the foundation of justice. Tonight I must kindle the fire, not because I delight in destruction, but because my love for justice and for humanity compels me to act. This fire is the answer to the cries of the oppressed souls, to the weeping that has risen up to my throne. Do you know many generations before you went through a similar judgment, yet humanity still did not learn the lesson? Remember the time of Noah, when the hearts of men were full of wickedness, when every thought in their minds was only evil. All the time. I gave them opportunity for many years through warnings, but they mocked until the flood came and overwhelmed them. When the ark door closed, the opportunity also ended. You see, the issue was not my cruelty, but the hardness of human hearts. Today is the same. I have sent messengers, I have shown signs, but many still turn a blind eye. They think that the day will never come, but I say that day has come, and the fire will come to burn away the pride and spiritual blindness. My child, take this as a warning for yourself. Do not repeat the mistakes of the past generation. Do not think that this judgment is a blind wrath. On the contrary, it is carried out in order and with a clear purpose. I do not destroy all, but I divide. I remove the impurity to preserve the holy. Just as the farmer separates the wheat from the chaff, I will make a distinction between those who belong to me and those who reject me. Tonight is the time for harvesting, the season for gathering souls. Those who humble themselves and return will be spared, while the stubborn will be consumed by the fire. Remember the words of Jesus. The wheat he will gather into his barn, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire. Matthew 3:1-2. This is the moment, and you must decide which group you will belong to. You may fear the fire, but I want you to see another aspect. It is the mercy hidden within the judgment. If I did not intervene, the world would self-destruct far faster than you think. Greed would deplete the land, violence would kill the innocent, and deceit would obscure every truth. The fire I bring does not only consume these things, but also opens the way for reconstruction. My child, see the hope even in the judgment. For amidst the ashes I will cause new life to sprout. In the darkest night I will make the light shine. The fire does not only bring an end, but also ushers in a new beginning. Believe that I am rewriting the story, and the new page will shine brighter than the old one. My child, I also want you to understand that this fire is not just an external event, but also an inner journey. I do not only burn away the wickedness of the world, but I also burn away the things that hold you back within. You may not realize it, but in your heart, there are still roots of doubt, of hurt, and of deep-seated habits. They are like vines wrapped around your soul, preventing you from reaching the freedom you were meant for. My fire is meant to burn them away. You will feel pain as the old is cut off, but afterward you will feel relief, for the burdens will be taken away. Let me work within you. Do not resist. Do not hold on to anything. Surrender all to me, and you will see yourself renewed from the inside out. As the fire spreads, the world will shake. The kingdom's structures and systems that humanity thought were immovable will collapse. But do not let that cause you to lose faith. On the contrary, that is proof that I am acting. I have foretold once more I will shake not only the earth but also the heavens. Hebrews 1:2-6. When what can be shaken is moved, what cannot be shaken will be revealed. You will see my kingdom standing firm, while every other kingdom will be dust. This is the assurance that those who place their trust in me will never be disappointed. The fire will prove that I am the only unshakable foundation. Therefore, my child, be ready. Do not let pride or indifference keep you outside my grace. Tonight is the night of choice. Either you step into the fire to be refined, or you turn away and are consumed by it. I set before you life and death, blessings and curses, but I earnestly call you choose life, so that you and your descendants may live. The fire is impartial, but it will clearly show who truly belongs to me. Be wise, choose the path that leads to eternal life. And when you choose, I will be with you, guiding you through the fire, and you will emerge as refined gold shining in my glory, my beloved. The fire I will kindle is not just for the world out there, but for each heart. Do you know often your own soul becomes a battlefield where light and darkness struggle each day? There are times when you long for me, seeking me with all your heart, but there are also times when you are drawn to temptation, chasing after things that you know will not bring life. Within you there are still corners you have not fully surrendered to me, old habits, unhealed wounds. And my child, that is why my fire must come. It does not only burn externally, but it pierces deep within your soul to separate what is real from what is false, to purify every dark corner in your heart. Understand that true love never allows you to remain in filth. I love you too much to let you continue living in darkness. Just as a father cannot leave his child playing near the edge of danger, I cannot stand by and watch you be chained by things that will kill your soul. This fire is my loving intervention. It may cause you pain for a moment, but that very pain brings long-lasting healing. You may feel as though you are losing something, but in reality you are being freed from what never truly belonged to you. The fire will break down the walls you have built, the walls you thought were there to protect you, but in reality, they have imprisoned your soul. I want you to be free, and true freedom comes only when you allow me to burn away every chain. I know that in your heart there are questions. Will I be able to endure? Will I overcome this fire? I say to you, I will be your strength. I do not cast you into the fire and abandon you, but I walk with you step by step. When you are weak, I will lift you up. When you stumble, I will keep you steady. The fire is not meant to destroy you, but to show that my power is greater than any challenge. Remember that just like the 3 friends of Daniel in the furnace, they did not only survive, but they came out without even the smell of smoke. This is proof that I do not just rescue, but I am glorified in the trial. The same will happen for you. If you place your full trust in me, you will not only endure, but you will become a living witness of my faithfulness. My child, look back on your life. How many times did you think you could not go on, but I made a way? How many times did you fall, but I helped you stand? How many times did you think the darkness had won, but my light shone and led you forward? You see, I have never forsaken you, and I will not start now. This fire is not to end you, but to confirm that you belong to me. For those who truly belong to me will be proven through the fire. Just as gold reveals its true value when it is melted down, you too will reveal your true faith when you go through trials. I want you to know that faith is not just empty words, but it is the firm standing when you still hold my hand in the midst of the red-hot flames. However, I also warn you that there will be some who will deny me in this hour. When the fire comes, they will be afraid and run away, seeking refuge in temporary things. They will cling to wealth, fame, or relationships to save themselves, but all of it will vanish like morning mist when the sun rises. These things cannot protect them, and in the end they will realize that only I am the true refuge. I do not want you to be one of them. Do not let fear cause you to betray your faith. Stand firm, for the fire is not meant to destroy you, but to prove who you are. This is the moment to show the world that you belong to the Eternal One. See this as an opportunity for you to step into a new level of your spiritual journey. The fire will burn away immaturity, replacing it with maturity. It will take away selfishness and replace it with a heart of selflessness. It will break pride and replace it with humility. Every spark that touches you is my hand molding you into my image. Do not fear this transformation. Even though you may feel like you are losing yourself in reality, you are just rediscovering the person I have always intended for you to be. You will walk out of the fire no longer carrying old scars, but with a new identity, the identity of one chosen by me, sent by me, who will testify of my name in this chaotic world. When you are refined, you will become a source of hope for others. They will see you, and they will realize that if I can keep you in the fire, I can keep them as well. You will be the shining light, the living witness for others to return. This is why I must allow you to go through the fire, not just to save you, but also so that through you many others will be saved. Your transformation will become the most powerful proof of my love and power. And my child, this is the great honor I give you, to be an instrument in my hands, to be used to bring many souls back into my embrace. So do not look at the fire with fearful eyes, but look at it with eyes of hope. Tonight is not the end, but a comma in the story I am writing for your life. You will pass through, you will step out, and you will be made new. Be strong, be steadfast, for I, the one speaking to you, will never leave you. My child, when you have listened and understood the fire of purification, now I want to lead you into a deeper level of meaning. It is the spiritual preparation to face and go through the fire. For my child, fire is not just an image or a temporary event. It is a process that everyone who walks with me must go through. From Abraham to Moses, from David to the apostles, all have been refined through the fires of testing. It is that very fire that made them who they were, and their faith became as solid as a rock. There is no fire without meaning. Every trial contains a great purpose that only when you look back will you understand. Therefore, my child, do not avoid the fire, but prepare your heart to step into it, for that is the only way you will be transformed into the image I have planned for you from the beginning. Remember the journey of Abraham. He was called the father of faith, not because he never feared, but because he stepped into the fire of trial and still chose to trust me. When I asked him to offer his only son, Isaac, the fulfillment of my promise, that was the greatest fire of his life. Every reasoning screamed that what I asked was unreasonable, but he still obeyed. And it was precisely when he raised the knife that I intervened, not only to save Isaac's life, but also to show that Abraham's faith had been refined like pure gold. My child, I tell you this story so you understand that the fire of testing is not meant to take away your most precious possession, but to confirm that you truly trust me above all else. Just like Abraham, you will see that I never break my promises, but it is through the trial that you will become the full heir to those promises. Think of Moses, who once fled into the wilderness thinking his life was over. But in that wilderness he encountered the burning bush that was not consumed, an image of the fire I used to call him. From there he was sent to rescue an entire nation. You see, fire is not just a symbol of judgment, but also a sign of commissioning. It destroys the old, yet illuminates the new path. My child, perhaps you are standing before the fire of a calling you never imagined. Do not fear, for I am preparing you for a mission greater than yourself. Each step in the fire is a step toward being fully equipped for the work I am about to give you. And remember David, once just an unknown shepherd boy. Before he became king, he had to walk through the fire of scorn, of pursuit, of betrayal. He was hunted by King Saul, forced to live in caves, facing the depths of loneliness. But it was in that furnace that a heart after my own will was formed. His psalms, his prayers, all emerged from the fire of trial. And today they are psalms that nourish generations. My child, do you see, without that fire there would be no words soaked with strength and comfort. The fire in your life today is the same. It is not just to test you, but to bring forth songs and testimonies that will uplift many after you. The fire never comes to make you lose everything, but to shape your true identity. The world tries to label you weak, a failure, sinful. But my fire will burn away all those false labels. leaving only your true identity. You are a child of the living God, chosen, loved, and sent. You are no longer defined by your past or your mistakes, but by my love and my eternal plan for you. Let the fire burn away everything that makes you doubt your worth, so that you can stand firm as one sent by me. This is the time for you to see yourself not through the lens of failure, but through my light, the one who sees the potential in you, even when the world sees imperfection. Do not forget, the fire of testing will not last forever. Every fire has a beginning and an end. But what remains after the fire is the most important thing. Just like metal that is heated and then forged, it becomes stronger, brighter, and more useful. So too will you. When the fire subsides, you will realize that you have grown, that you are stronger, and that your faith has become more steadfast than ever before. Tonight may be full of fear, but the dawn will shine brighter than you ever imagined. I have promised weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 3:05. This is my guarantee to you, that the trial is not the end, but a preparation for greater joy. So prepare yourself like a soldier, preparing for battle, like a farmer, preparing for the harvest. Do not let the fire cause you to fear, but let it become an opportunity for you to demonstrate your faith. Keep your eyes focused on me, not on the storm around you. Keep your heart tender. Do not let it harden before correction. Be patient, for the result will come at the right time. And above all, be sure that I am with you, even when you do not feel it. I have never forsaken you, and I never will. You will pass through the fire, and you will come out not the same as before. My beloved, I want you to see the fire from another perspective. It is the fire of spiritual inspection to expose the true nature of the human heart. From the very beginning, mankind has been accustomed to wearing masks, masks of hypocrisy, masks of false wisdom, masks of self-righteousness. But my child, no mask can stand in the light of my presence. When the fire comes, it will burn away these coverings, revealing the true nature of each person. What has been hidden in darkness I will expose in broad daylight. And this is what makes the fire so frightening to those who still cling to deceit. But for those who long for truth, the fire is liberation. For the truth will set you free, and that truth is most clearly revealed when all falsehoods are consumed. Remember, I do not seek people who are outwardly perfect, but I seek hearts that are honest. A heart that acknowledges weakness, that asks for grace, is worth more than 1,000 faces pretending to be righteous. The fire comes to clearly separate these two types of people. Those who bear my name but do not truly belong to me will not stand firm. But those who are humble, even if weak, even if they have stumbled, but know how to return and cling to me, will stand firm and be exalted. My child, examine your heart now, so that when the fire reveals what is hidden, you will not be caught by surprise. This is the time for honesty, for removing the masks and coming before me with an exposed heart. Do not fear when I see you clearly, for I have known you from the beginning and still love you unchangingly. Do you remember King David? He was not someone who never sinned. He fell into adultery and murder. But what set him apart was his heart that truly repented. He wept and he wrote the words of Psalm 51. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. It was this sincerity that caused him to be forgiven and restored. The fire of judgment might have consumed him, but repentance turned that fire into a refining furnace where he was made new. My child, this is what I desire from you, not pretense of righteousness, but true repentance, so that the fire will not be your enemy, but a means of transformation. Look at the world today and you will see what I am saying. Many use the name of religion to cover their greed, use pious words to seek personal gain, wear a cloak of righteousness to oppress others. But my child, my fire will burn all of this away. It will not tolerate hypocrisy, for I abhor hypocrisy more than open sin. Israel of old was rebuked by me. These people come near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Isaiah 2:9-13. Today I say the same to this generation. The fire will separate the true from the false, and no one will be able to mix them anymore. Tonight is the time for you to decide, will you live truly before me, or continue wearing a mask waiting for it to be burned away? Listen, the spiritual inspection is not only to expose the bad, but also to reveal what is precious. In each heart there are hidden gems that only fire can make shine. Many times you do not know how capable you are of loving, how strong your faith is, until the fire forces you to express it. Like Joseph in prison, it was through the trials that his steadfastness and wisdom were revealed, and one day he was elevated to the position of governor. My child, I see in you things of great value that you have not yet recognized, and I will use the fire to reveal them, so that you may see yourself clearly in my great plan. Do not fear the fire, for it will show you who you are in my eyes. I know that at times you will feel exhausted facing this scrutiny. You will feel as though all the wickedness within you is being exposed, causing you to feel shame. But my child, do not let shame make you run from me. Let it cause you to run to me. I do not expose you to humiliate you, but to heal you. Remember, I am compassionate and slow to anger, abounding in love and forgiveness. When the fire exposes the wounds, I am also the one who binds them up. When the fire reveals weakness, I am the one who gives you strength to overcome. Therefore, accept the fire as an opportunity to be healed from the root, rather than continuing to hide and let the wounds fester. This is the time for you to walk in absolute honesty. Do not deceive yourself any longer, and do not let the voices of the world lull you to sleep. I am calling you back to purity. Remember, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Matthew 5:8. I want you to be one of those. If you allow the fire to do its complete work, it will make you a bright mirror reflecting my glory, and you will no longer have to live in hiding, but you will be able to stand before me, before the world, with a heart of integrity, unafraid. Let the fire do its work for you. Do not resist, do not run away, but open your heart and let it burn away every falsehood. When you do, you will experience a freedom you have never known before. You will feel a lightness that only those who live truly can experience. And above all, you will see me, the one who has loved you from the very beginning, now closer to you than ever before. For the fire has removed all the distance between me and you, so you can enter into my presence with purity and peace. My beloved, when I have shown you that the fire is a refining process, a spiritual inspection, now I want you to understand another aspect. The fire is also an invitation to enter into a new and deeper covenant with me. For no one can enter into Holy Communion while still carrying the old burdens, the invisible chains of sin and doubt. The fire is the gateway. It burns away the old to make way for the new. Just as a goldsmith refines gold and can then imprint his seal upon it, so I use fire to refine you, making you pure enough to receive my seal. This is not just correction. It is an act of love, bringing you closer to me than ever before. Do you remember the day I made a covenant with the people of Israel on Mount Sinai? The mountain trembled, smoke rose like a furnace, the sound of trumpets blared, and the people trembled before my holy presence. They had to be purified before coming near the mountain because my holiness cannot tolerate impurity. Today, my child, I am inviting you into a new covenant, not written on tablets of stone, but written upon your heart. But to do this, you must walk through the fire, for that fire will wash, purge, and leave in you a new heart, a heart that does not just know me, but truly belongs to me. My child, this is the invitation of grace. If you allow the fire to complete its work, you will step into a closeness with me like never before. Remember, my fire always comes with my presence. When Israel wandered in the desert, I led them by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That fire not only illuminated their path but also protected them from their enemies. My fire is both a light to guide you and a fortress to protect you. Tonight, when I say the fire will come down, it does not mean I will abandon you in peril. On the contrary, that fire will be proof that I am with you. It will separate who belongs to me and who does not. It will light your steps in the darkness, and it will be an invisible barrier that the enemy cannot cross to harm you. Therefore, do not just think of the fierceness of the fire, but think of the safety it brings when you are in my embrace. I know that you have often prayed for me to draw nearer, to make my will clearer to you. But do you realize that this very fire is the answer to that prayer? For I cannot give you greater revelation while you still carry hindrances. The fire will clear, the way will remove the veils, so that you can see me more clearly. I want to speak with you face to face, as one speaks to a friend, but for that to happen you need to be purified. The fire is not to distance you from me, but to bring you closer. It is the means to break down every barrier, every obstacle, so that our communion may become complete. Think of the disciples of old when they were in the upper room waiting for the fulfillment of the promise, and then my Holy Spirit descended upon them as tongues of fire rested on each of them. Acts 2:3. It was that fire that transformed the fearful ones into courageous witnesses preaching the gospel to the ends of the earth. You see, the fire not only purifies, it also empowers. It does not only take away, but it also gives. It does not only cleanse, but it also lights the way. Tonight, my child, when the fire comes, it will not only burn away the old, but it will also give you a new strength, a new calling, a new courage. You will step out of the fire, not as the old you, but as a mighty instrument in my hand. My child, do not fear when I call you into this new covenant. It is not a burden, but a privilege. It is not a bondage, but freedom. I do not invite you to add burdens to your life, but to lay down the burdens you have been carrying. I do not invite you to be tied down, but to be set free. And the fire is the key that unlocks those chains. Once you are liberated, you will see that my covenant with you is the greatest joy, the greatest strength, the only purpose for living. Remember, I am a jealous God, but I am also a God of love. I do not want to share your heart with any other idol. Therefore, my fire will burn away all idols, so that your heart belongs entirely to me. This is a time that cannot be delayed. The fire is coming close, and I place before you a choice. Either you let the fire transform you and lead you into a new covenant, or you reject it and let the fire expose your rebellion. The decision is yours, but the consequences cannot be avoided. I urgently call you, choose life, choose truth, choose me, for in me you will find refuge, peace, and wholeness that the world can never offer you. Do not fear the fire, my child, for that fire is the path that will lead you to the deepest communion with me, my beloved. When my fire is kindled, this world will never be the same. Everything will be shaken, all false foundations will tremble, and only what is built upon me will stand firm. Imagine a forest that is burned to the ground. In an instant, it seems like total devastation, trees toppled, smoke rising, and the earth left in ashes. But after a time, from that very ground, new shoots will grow greener, stronger. My child, my fire is the same. It may seem like it destroys in an instant, but in reality it prepares for a great rebirth. The ashes are only the beginning of a new harvest, and what I want you to see is the hope hidden in the chaos. When you see everything around you collapsing, do not panic, for that is proof that a new era is beginning. You must know that this world has become accustomed to living in deception. People rely on economic power, political authority, fame, or human knowledge to seek security, but all of these are like castles built on sand. A strong wave is enough to sweep them all away, and my fire is that wave, the wave that will test every work. When the fire passes through, the false will collapse, but that which is built on a solid foundation on me will remain. My child, I want you to understand that true security is never found in wealth or status, but only in my embrace. Everything else will pass away, but I, the Eternal One, will never change. Place your trust in me, and you will never be shaken, even when the whole world is in turmoil. Remember the words I spoke through the prophet Haggai. In a little while I will once more shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations will come. Haggai 2:6-7. You see, this is not the first time I have declared that I will shake everything, but each time I do it is for a purpose to reveal my glory, to bring humanity back to its true foundation. Today is no different, my child. The fire will cause a great shaking, not to destroy for the sake of destruction, but to prepare for the full revelation of my glory. And you, my child, are called to stand firm in the midst of this shaking, becoming a testimony that there is an unshakable foundation, and that foundation is me. When I shake this world, many will lose their way. They will run in fear, seeking refuge in things they thought were secure, but everything will collapse under my fire. At that moment their eyes will be opened, and they will realize the truth. Only I am the true refuge. You will see many souls calling out to me, and that is the harvest I have prepared. But for you to be a part of this harvest, you must be ready now. The fire is not just for judgment, it is also to ignite new lamps, and you are one of those lamps. You must stand firm so your light can shine for those who are lost in the darkness. If you let the fire refine you, your light will not be extinguished, but will blaze brightly in the chaos. My child, do not fear this shaking. I know you may be anxious when you see everything familiar being broken down, but remember I have said, once more I will shake. The phrase once more is my promise that this is not the end but a transition. I am removing what can be shaken so that only what cannot be shaken remains. And you are a part of that which cannot be shaken if you stand firm in me. Think of the shaking as a strong wind that blows away the withered leaves so the trees can prepare for a new season. The fire and the shaking are not meant to kill you, but to bring you into a greater season of blessing. When I shake, I do not only shake the world around you, but I also shake your inner being. All the false beliefs, all the unstable foundations within you, I will shake so that you will only rely on me. You may see this as a loss, but in reality, it is a blessing. For when all other supports collapse, you will realize that I am the only one you need. And when you stand firm on me, you will become steadfast in the face of every storm. The world will look at you and wonder why you are not swept away like they are. And the only answer you will be able to give is because I stand on the unshakable foundation of the Lord. That will be the strongest testimony, not with words, but with your life. Therefore, prepare your heart now. Let go of what you are still clinging to that is not lasting. Place all your trust and hope in me. When the fire and the shaking come, you will not fear, but you will stand tall like a tree whose roots are firmly planted by the water. You will become a lighthouse, shining for those who are in despair. And when the storm passes, when the fire is extinguished, you will stand there unwavering, shining brightly, and become a testimony that my kingdom can never be shaken. This is why I call you, not to make you tremble, but to make you a witness of the steadfastness and eternal love of mine in a world that is crumbling. My child, no one can stand firm by their own strength. All the efforts based on human wisdom, all the works built by skill and ambition, will also collapse when they face my fire. Only what is built on the unshakable foundation of me will endure. You may look around and see many who pride themselves on their achievements, wealth, or status. But my child, all these are like chaff, and a single spark is enough to burn them away. Tonight I want you to clearly understand the fragility of the values of this world, so that you place your trust not in what is fleeting, but in me, the Eternal, one who never changes. My child, It is because mankind has placed their trust in the wrong things that this shaking is necessary. They have trusted in idols they have made with their own hands, wealth, power, science, fame. These things are not evil in themselves, but when mankind makes them objects of worship, they become burdens that pull them away from me. I cannot allow this to continue forever. Out of love, I must shake these things so that mankind may awaken and return to the true source. Remember, my child, I do not envy the creations of mankind, but I am jealous of your heart. I do not want you to give your heart to things that will betray you. I only want your heart to belong entirely to me, for I am the only one who will never forsake you. My child, you must examine yourself. Is there anything in your heart that you are holding on to more than you are holding on to me? Are there any supports you think will keep you safe, but in reality, they are just sinking sand? The fire and shaking are here to reveal those things. I do not do this to shame you, but to set you free. You may think I am taking something away from you, but in reality, I am only removing from you the things that prevent you from entering into true blessings. Remember, I never take away something precious without replacing it with something better. If I take away a broken staff that you still cling to, it is to give you a firm foundation. If I take away a cracked vessel that you drink from, it is to give you the living water that will never run dry. My child, the loss you see is only the stepping stone to greater fullness. Look back at the stories of my people of old to see this clearly. When the Israelites were exiled to Babylon, they thought it was all over. The temple was destroyed, the walls of Jerusalem fell, and they became a people taken far from their homeland. But it was in that very situation that I revealed my presence more powerfully than ever. I showed them that I am not limited by the four walls of the temple, but I am present in the furnace, in the lion's den, in the midst of exile. It was the shaking that made them realize that I am not just the God of a particular land, but the God of the entire universe. And from that exile they were restored, and one day they returned to rebuild Jerusalem more glorious than before. My child, the same will happen for you. Right when you think you have lost everything, that is when I am about to give you something greater. Do not forget that the shaking is also an opportunity for your faith to be revealed. Many will step back, but there will also be some who stand firm, and they will become the most powerful witnesses of my name. When the world sees you unshaken in the midst of chaos, they will ask you where your strength comes from, and you will have the opportunity to point to me. This is how the fire and shaking turn you into a light for the nations. You will not need to say much for your life. Your steadfastness, your peace, your trust will be the strongest testimony, louder than any words. My child, seize this opportunity. Do not just think of surviving, think of becoming a witness. For I do not call you just to be saved, but through you, many others will find salvation. The shaking is not meant to last forever. It is a season, and every season will pass. But what you learn in the season of shaking will remain forever. Refined faith, formed patience, and sharpened wisdom, these will become spiritual treasures that no one can take away. Think of the fire as a school where I am the teacher and you are the student. Each trial is a lesson, each shaking is an opportunity for you to grow. And when the season of shaking is over, you will step out with a new heart, a new vision, and new strength. That is what I desire for you, not only to overcome, but to be completely transformed. Do not lose heart. Even if you see everything around you collapsing, remember that it is only part of a greater plan. Even if you feel empty, trust that I am preparing to fill you. Even if you are taken away, believe that I am ready to give you more. Keep your eyes on me, not on the chaos. Let the fire burn away all illusions, leaving only pure trust in me. And when all is said and done, you will stand there not only as a survivor, but as a victor refined to bring my glory to the world. My beloved, when I have revealed that the fire and shaking come to purify, to break down all false supports now, I want you to understand the final purpose. It is restoration and rebuilding. I do not shake for everything to collapse, but I shake to open a new era where what is firm will be established and my kingdom will be revealed more clearly. The fire does not only burn, but it also illuminates. The shaking does not only break, but it also builds. My child, let your eyes look beyond the ashes before you to see the season of restoration drawing near. Do not stop at the sight of destruction, for I am preparing something better. In the place once destroyed, I will raise up a new garden. In the place once desolate, I will plant seeds of life. Remember, I am the one who will never leave my people in desolation forever. After the Israelites were exiled, I promised that they would return, and they did, to rebuild the city of Jerusalem. I sent Ezra and Nehemiah to rebuild the temple and the walls. That is proof that I always have a plan for restoration after judgment. My child, the same will happen for you. After the fire has passed, after all the falsehood has been burned away, I will give you a new foundation to build upon. You will no longer build on sand, but on the firm rock that is me. You will no longer rely on your own strength, but on my strength. And that new work will never be shaken, for it will be established on an eternal foundation. Do not fear when I take away the old, for I only take away to make room for the new. Imagine a person holding on to a cracked clay pot thinking it is precious. But I know that this pot cannot hold water, and if you continue using it, it will only cause the precious water to spill. Therefore, I must break that pot to replace it with a new one, sturdy and beautiful. So too, when I take away what you are familiar with, it is to prepare something greater for you. You see the loss, but I see the replacement. You see the ashes, but I see the seed that is waiting to sprout. Do not mourn what is past, my child, but open your heart to receive what I am preparing. My child, my restoration will not only take place in the world around you, but also in your very soul. I will heal the deep wounds you thought would never heal. I will mend the tears in your heart, turn shame into glory, and replace sorrow with joy. As I promised through the prophet Joel, I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:5. I will not only restore what has been lost, but give you even more so you can realize the greatness of my grace. My child, what the enemy used to destroy you, I will turn into evidence of victory. The wounds will become a testimony, and the weakness will become a place to display my power. My child, you must know that the restoration I am preparing is also communal, not just individual. When I kindle the fire, I do not just transform each person, but I transform my people as a whole. This is the time when I am calling a new army, not with swords, but with faith, unity, and love. I am raising up a generation that will not be shaken, a holy nation called to proclaim my mighty works. And you are part of that generation. Be ready to stand in line to rebuild on a new foundation. You are not alone, for I am calling many, like you from all corners, to gather as one people under my banner. My child, restoration will not come with loud noise, but with certainty. It will be like dawn gradually breaking, dispelling the darkness little by little until the sun fully rises. You will see change not in one single moment, but in every step. But each step will be sure, because it will be guided by me. Be patient. My child, do not rush. Just as a sapling needs time to grow into a mighty tree, restoration also needs time to take root and bear fruit. All you need to do is continue trusting, continue walking in obedience. And I promise that the end result will exceed all your expectations. Therefore, look at the fire and the shaking not just with fearful eyes, but with eyes of hope. This is not the end, but a sign of the beginning of a new chapter. Let your heart be filled with anticipation, for I, the one who has begun the good work in you, will bring it to completion until the day of fulfillment. And when you look back, you will see that the fire was not your enemy, but your companion leading you to restoration. You will see that the shaking did not cause you to collapse, but it made you stand firm like never before. And above all, you will see that I was always there, never leaving, always faithful, always loving, and always leading you from ashes to glory. When you have heard and understood that the fire is not just for judgment but for restoration, I want you to delve deeper into a truth. The transformation after the fire is never random, but always with order, purpose, and glory. Every spark, every shaking, every trial is in my hands, orchestrated by me to mold you into the image I have predestined. Remember, I am the potter, and you are the clay. Sometimes the clay thinks that the molding process is painful, but in reality, it is the only way to become a precious vessel. Likewise, the fire does not come to make you disappear, but to shape you into the most fitting, most valuable, and long-lasting form in my plan. Look at the journey of Joseph. He went through the fire of betrayal by his own brothers, the fire of being sold into slavery, the fire of unjust imprisonment. For many years he thought his fate was ashes. But my child, it was that very fire that refined him, making him wise, humble, and resilient. At the right time, I brought him from the prison to the palace to become an instrument for saving an entire nation. You see, without the trial of fire, Joseph would never have had the strength to carry out such a great mission. My child, the same is happening in your life. There are pains you do not yet understand, injustices you have not explained, but they are all fires in my hands, preparing you for something greater. Do not reject the fire, for it is the path to glory. My child, I also want you to remember that the fire is not only a personal process, but a communal one. When I let Israel wander in the desert for 40 years, it was not only to refine each individual, but to prepare a whole nation. In the desert, the old, the stiff-hearted, gradually disappeared so that the new generation ready could enter the promised land. My child, the fire in this age is the same. It is not just for you, but for all my people. I am preparing a generation that will rely on me and not on the world. I am raising up a new nation that will worship in spirit and truth, no longer with empty rituals, no longer clinging to hollow traditions. And you, my child, are called to be a part of that people. Do not think your journey is just for yourself, but remember that you are a brick in a larger work, a work that I am building. You may ask, how will I know that real transformation has happened in me? My child, you will know by the clear signs. Where you once feared, you will now find peace. Where you once were angry, you will now find gentleness. Where you once were in despair, you will now find hope. These inner changes will testify that the fire has done its work. Just as gold shines brighter after coming out of the fire, just as silver is purer after refining, you too will become a new version of yourself, reflecting my light more clearly. This is not an outward change, but a deep transformation, one that makes you more and more like me. That transformation will also be recognized by others. They will see you and wonder, what has happened? Why is this person not the same as before? And your new life will be the living testimony. You will not need to defend yourself much, because the change in you will be the strongest evidence. Just like the disciples of old, after going through the fire of persecution, they became courageous and full of power, causing the world to acknowledge that they had been with the Lord. You will be the same, my child. The fire will mark you with my seal, so that anyone who sees you will know that you belong to me. And through this transformation, many souls will be awakened. Many will seek the light. Do not view this transformation as a burden, rather see it as an honor. For not everyone is chosen to walk through the fire and emerge as pure gold. You are chosen not because you are stronger, but because of the grace I wish to manifest through your life. You will become a living example of the truth that I can turn ashes into beauty and transform mourning into a garment of praise. This is the promise I have made, and it will be fulfilled in your life. Therefore, stand firm, my child. No matter how hot the fire is, no matter how great the trials, know that the outcome will be a new life, radiant and reflecting my glory to all nations. I repeat once more, the fire does not come to end you, but to give birth to you. It does not come to take everything from you, but to give you much more. It does not come to make you weak, but to make you strong. Be assured that after the fire you will no longer be the old person, but a useful vessel in my hands. You will carry the mark of transformation, and that mark cannot be erased. Tonight may be difficult, but remember that the dawn is waiting ahead, and it will shine brighter than any day you have ever known. My beloved child, I want you to understand that the transformation the fire brings is not only confined to your inner being, but extends to every aspect of your life. When I cleanse your soul, I also renew your relationships, your work, and the very path you walk. Sometimes you wonder why old relationships suddenly break apart, why some doors unexpectedly close, or why you must leave places you have been familiar with. My child, this is not a random loss. It is a purposeful arrangement. I use the fire to remove what no longer fits, to make way for something newer and better. Those who do not belong to your future will leave, and those environments that no longer nurture your soul will be changed. You may grieve for a moment, but soon you will see that all of this is necessary for your growth and for the plan I have for you. Remember that I never lead you into a new season without first preparing you. The fire is that preparation. It refines you, purifies you, and gives you strength you never thought you had. Just like a soldier must undergo tough training before going to battle, you too must pass through the fire to be equipped. No one can stand firm in this world's storm unless they have been trained in my furnace. My child, consider each challenge as a lesson, each difficulty as an exercise. They do not come to wear you out, but to make you strong. Do not avoid them, for they are preparing you for something greater. Look at the apostles after Jesus ascended to heaven. They were once trembling, once locked behind closed doors, out of fear. But then when my Holy Spirit came down like tongues of fire, they became powerful witnesses, spreading the gospel throughout the world. The fire changed them from weak people to those who dared face death for my name. You see, the fire does not just transform within, but it also manifests outwardly through actions, words, and commitment. My child, I want the same for you. I want the fire within you to spread outward, so that everyone around you can see and know that I am alive and working within you. Your life will become a light not just for you, but for many others who are lost. My child, I know that walking through the fire is not always easy. You will face loneliness, misunderstanding, and even opposition. But these too are part of my plan. For when everything around you opposes you, you will learn to hold on to me even more. When you have no one else to rely on, you will realize that I am the only refuge. This is the valuable lesson the fire brings. It removes false supports so that you can find true strength in me. And once you have tasted this, you will never be shaken easily again. You will know for sure that no matter how the world changes, I remain the unchanging, steadfast one. My child, the transformation is not just for your own benefit, but to make you a blessing to others. When you are healed, you will become a source of comfort to those who are suffering. When you are set free, you will help release those who are bound. When you are refined, you will be a living testimony that I can transform anyone. My child, do not keep this to yourself, but share it. Let your light shine out so that others may also be guided. Just as a candle does not lose its light when it shares with another candle, you will not lose what I have given you when you pass it on to others. On the contrary, your flame will burn even brighter as it spreads. My child, I know that you may fear change. You see yourself as small, not strong enough, not ready. But I want you to remember that it is not your strength that determines the outcome, but my strength within you. As I have spoken, my grace is sufficient for you, For my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:29. You do not need to be perfect to begin. You only need to be willing. I will do the rest. The fire is not meant to prove how strong you are, but to show how powerful I am when you surrender. Let go of your fear and trust that I have prepared everything necessary. You only need to walk in obedience, and I will perform miracles throughout your life. My child, let the transformation of the fire not stop in your heart, but become a wave that spreads outward. Let these changes redefine the way you live, the way you love, the way you treat others. Let this transformation be the proof that a living God is working in you. And when the world sees, they will have to acknowledge that this is not your work, but the work of the Almighty. This is the greatest glory, not that you are exalted, but that my name is exalted through your life. My beloved, when you have seen the purifying fire bring transformation inside and renewal on the outside, now I want you to recognize something deeper. This transformation is not just for the present, but prepares you for eternity. For everything you experience in this life is only the beginning of a larger plan that I have prepared. The fire does not just refine you to make you stand firm in this world, but to make you worthy to enter into eternal glory. My child, I do not want you to live just a temporary life. I want you to experience abundant life today and prepare for the day you will stand before me in eternity. This fire is the preparation for that moment, so that when you stand before my throne, you will carry nothing but a pure heart and unwavering faith. I want you to see the image of a seed. When it is sown into the ground, it must decay before it can bring forth new life. If the seed does not die, it remains just a dry seed. But once it breaks open, it brings forth much fruit. In the same way, your life must go through breaking in order to bear fruit. My fire is to break the old so that new life can sprout. Do not fear this breaking, for it does not lead to an end, but to the beginning of the harvest. I am transforming you to become a vessel of abundant fruitfulness, so that your life no longer revolves around yourself, but becomes a source of blessing to many others. This is the deepest meaning of transformation. You become a channel of grace, so that through you, many other souls can touch my love and power. I know there are times when you are weary, when you want to stop because the fire seems too hot, the trials seem too great. But remember that I have never asked you to go alone. I am the one walking with you every step of the way. The fire will never exceed your strength, for I control everything. Remember my words in 1 Corinthians 10:13. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, but when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. My child, be sure that every fire you are going through has been measured by me, so it will not overwhelm you, but will only make you stronger. I am with you in the fire, and my presence is the assurance that you will never be consumed. Also remember that transformation is not a sudden process, but a journey that unfolds day by day. The fire may begin in a moment, but its effect will last throughout your life. You will notice small changes, a new attitude, a new way of thinking, a new perspective. These may seem small, but when they add up, they will form a great transformation. Be patient, my child, for I am working with you every day. Just as a jeweler patiently polishes a gem, I am patiently removing the sharp edges so that the gem reflects brilliant light. Do not be discouraged when you do not see perfection yet, for I am not done. I will continue until my work with you is complete. Once you have gone through this transformation, your life will bear an unmistakable mark, the mark of restoration and new strength. Others will see the peace in you amidst the storm, and they will recognize that there is one who is keeping you. They will see the hope in you, even when all the doors seem to close, and they will wonder about the source of that strength. This is the opportunity for you to testify of me not just by words, but through your very life. Let your transformation become a living letter, that the world can read a letter written by my Holy Spirit, not with ink, but with the very new life in you. My beloved, this transformation is not only for your own benefit, but also to prepare you to become a part of my grand plan. I am raising up a new nation, a holy generation called to shine in the darkness. You are a part of that army. The fire has trained you to stand firm in the ranks, so you will not be shaken when the spiritual battle draws near. This is not just about your personal story. It is about a collective destiny, a people called to shine my glory to all nations. See this transformation as the preparation for you to step into your position in this grand plan. Therefore, do not be afraid when the fire comes. See it as a turning point where you are stepping into a new phase. Rejoice, for what I am doing in you is greater than you can imagine. Be steadfast, for the reward is waiting ahead. And be assured that the transformation you are going through today will bring eternal results not only in your life, but in the lives of many others you will touch. This is the full meaning of the fire. It transforms you into light, and through that light the whole world will see my glory. When I have taken you through the fire and through the shaking, when I have transformed you from the inside out, now I want to open your eyes to a bigger vision. That is the call for you to live in the new identity I have placed within you. You were not born just to exist, but to reflect the glory of the Creator. The fire has taken away, the old has stripped away the chains, and now you are free to walk in a new life, the life of one who is sent. My child, I have not only saved you from destruction, but also saved you to send you out. Just as a light is not lit and then hidden under a basket, but placed on a stand to give light to the whole house, so are you. You are called to shine for many in this generation. My child, I know that sometimes you think you are too small, that you don't have enough talent, that you don't have enough strength to make a difference. But I say to you, it is not you, but I within you who will make that difference. Look at the people I have chosen throughout history. Moses stuttered, yet I used him to face Pharaoh. Gideon trembled, yet I made him the deliverer of Israel. The disciples were just ordinary fishermen, but after the Holy Spirit fire touched them, they became world changers. My child, what matters is not where you start, but whether you are ready to be used by me. The fire has prepared you, and now I am calling you to step out with that new identity. My child, understand that your new identity is not built on achievements, but on grace. You do not need to prove yourself worthy, for I have made you worthy. The new life you receive is a gift, not a reward. But as you live in that gift, you will find yourself compelled to do good, to love, to spread life. This new identity is the source of strength, so that you are no longer bound by the past. Your past sins no longer have power over you. Yesterday's failures do not define you. You are defined by my love and my calling. My child, rise up with a new confidence, not in yourself, but in me, the one who lives in you. Look around you. How many people are lost, despairing, bound by the same things you once were? They need a living witness that true freedom exists, that there is a powerful and loving God. You are that witness. The fire has transformed you, not just for your own benefit, but to make you an instrument for many others. Remember that every tear you shed in the furnace of testing is not in vain. They have been recorded by me to become words of comfort for other souls. Every wound you bear has become a door for you to reach those who are also in pain. This is the new mission I give you, to become a bridge, a lamp, an instrument of healing and restoration. I want you to also understand that your new identity does not mean a life without trials. On the contrary, you will face even more challenges, for light always causes darkness to fight against it. But the difference is now you are prepared. The fire you have been through not only purged you, but also equipped you. You have new strength, stronger faith, and deeper wisdom. Therefore, do not fear when you face the darkness again. Remember, you no longer walk as the old you, but as one who has been transformed. You are no longer alone, but you carry within you the power of the one who called you out of darkness into his light. My child, always keep your heart sensitive to my voice. Do not let your new identity remain a theory, but make it a reality every day. Every time you forgive instead of harboring bitterness, you are living in your new identity. Every time you love instead of being indifferent, you are living in your new identity. Every time you stand up for the truth instead of remaining silent, you are living in your new identity. Do not think that these actions are small, for they create a great wave in the spiritual realm. My child, walk with the awareness that every choice, every word, every action you take has influence. You have been placed in this world as salt and light, and you must let your new identity shine so that many will come to know me. Therefore, be courageous and embrace the identity I have given you. Remember that the fire has not caused you loss, but has made you stronger. Believe that the shaking has not caused you to fall, but has made you stand firm. Now you are no longer bound, but free. You are no longer lost, but led. You are no longer sinful, but forgiven. And you are no longer forgotten, but chosen. Walk in this identity with trust and joy, for I will use you to bring light to the darkest places, and you will see that your life is no longer ordinary, but becomes part of my eternal grand plan. Once you have stepped into the new identity I have given you, I want you to understand that this is not just for you to live for yourself, but for you to become a powerful witness in a world full of darkness. You have been transformed to become light, and light is never meant to be hidden. The fire has purified you, the shaking has shaped you, and now you are sent to stand firm as a lamp shining in the dark night. My child, the world is groaning, longing for a glimmer of hope, searching for a true path. You cannot remain silent, for your presence, transformed by me, is the answer to the souls that are thirsty. Remember that Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:1-4. My child, those words are not just for others, they are for you. You are not called to hide or live quietly in the darkness, but to shine. Your light does not come from your own strength, but from the one who has placed the fire in your heart. That fire must burn, it must be seen, it must be passed on to others. Do not fear that your light is too small, for even a small light is enough to break through the thick darkness. You only need to be faithful and shine where I have placed you, and I will make that light shine farther than you can imagine. I know that when you hear about being a witness, you may feel anxious. You fear that you don't have the words, the wisdom, or the ability. But my child, remember that I am not seeking perfection, I am seeking willingness. When Moses stood before the burning bush, he too complained that he was not good at speaking. But I said, "Who made man's mouth? Is it not I, the Lord?" Exodus 4:1-1. Similarly, do not worry about your ability, for I will give you the words to speak. I will lead you where you need to go, and I will open the way for you. What I need from you is a willing heart to obey. My child, as you walk, I will act through you. Look back at what you have been through. Every wound, every trial, every tear, all of these can become a testimony. You do not need to seek another story, for your life is already a story. When you share how I have kept you, how I have saved you from the fire, you are sowing hope into others. They may argue about theories, but they cannot deny a life that has been transformed. My child, use your own experience as your testimony. Do not be ashamed of your scars, for they are the evidence of healing. Do not hide your tears, for they are proof that I have wiped them away. Do not hesitate to share your past, for that past shows how great my grace island. You also need to understand that being a witness is not just by words, but by the way you live. My child, let your life reflect the transformation. When people see you love instead of hate, forgive instead of hold grudges, they will recognize that something is different about you. When they see you remain firm in your faith, even in the midst of trials, they will recognize that there is a strong foundation supporting you. The difference in the way you live will make them long to know the source of that strength. My child, let your light shine, not through empty promises, but through actions full of love, through steadfastness, through faithfulness. Your life is the most powerful message I want to send to the world. My child, do not forget that being a witness comes with a price. The world does not like the light, for the light exposes the darkness. When you shine, there will be opposition, criticism, and even persecution. But do not let this discourage you. Remember that the apostles were persecuted, but they rejoiced because they were counted worthy to suffer for my name. My child, if you suffer loss, remember that it is not failure but proof that your light is shining exactly where it needs to. And I promise that any sacrifice you make for my name will be richly rewarded in eternity. Do not fear the darkness that opposes you, for darkness can never overcome the light. I also want you to remember that you do not walk alone in your role as a witness. You are part of a larger body, the body of those who believe in me. The fire does not only light individual lives, but also unites them into a brilliant community. When you join with your brothers and sisters, the light will shine stronger and farther. Do not walk alone, my child, but unite with others to bear witness together. The world cannot ignore a community that shines, living in love, supporting each other, and reflecting my glory together. My child, walk out with courage and joy. Do not remain silent, do not withdraw, do not hide your light. Live as one who has been transformed, testify to my love and power, and let the fire in you spread. When you do this, you will see many souls touched, many lives changed, and you will continue to grow in your new identity. My child, remember, being a witness is not a burden but an honor. You have been chosen to be the voice, the light, the hands and feet of my presence in the world. And I promise that when you fulfill your part, I will fulfill the rest, so that my glory will be revealed everywhere. My beloved child, now I want to conclude this message with an unshakable truth. The fire I have foretold is not just a warning, not just a purification, but the path that leads to eternal glory. I do not allow the fire to touch you to destroy you, but to declare that you are chosen, loved, and sent for a purpose far greater than your current life. Do not let your heart be burdened by the fleeting things of this world, for all of it will pass away. But what I touch, what I sanctify in the fire, will remain forever. My child, look beyond what you see before you. Look with the eyes of faith to recognize that I am preparing you for an unshakable kingdom, a kingdom with no tears, no darkness, and no death. My child, my love for you has never changed, even when you have stumbled, even when you have gone astray. The fire is not for vengeance, but to bring you back to me. I want you to walk in true freedom, not bound by sin or fear. Do you remember what I said through the Apostle John? If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. 1 John 1:9. This is the ticket that allows you to pass through the fire without being burned. Repentance and faith. When you humbly return, I open my arms wide, and the fire becomes a place of purification rather than destruction. This is the truth I want you to engrave in your heart. No one is too far to be saved. No one is too filthy to be cleansed, as long as they are willing to return. In this era, many are weary, many souls are broken, many hearts are hardened. They look around and only see darkness, war, injustice, and despair. But it is in this bleak picture that I am lighting candles, and you are one of them. You are not called to fade into the darkness, but to shine. You are not called to be swept away in the chaos, but to stand firm as a beacon showing many the way home. Remember, when you stand firm in the fire, not only will your life be transformed, but many other eyes will be looking at you, and they will find hope through the light you reflect. This is the final mission I give you live, as a witness to my faithfulness, so that many may be drawn back into my embrace. My child, I know these words may make you tremble, for you see the great responsibility ahead. But take heart, for I never give you a mission without providing the strength to accomplish it. You do not walk alone, but the Holy Spirit is with you, the Comforter, the Guide, and the one who empowers. He will remind you of everything I have spoken, will give you wisdom, and will strengthen you when you are weary. Do not seek strength in yourself, but in the presence of the Holy Spirit. When you learn to rely on Him, you will see yourself do things beyond your natural ability. My child, be assured that I have given you everything you need, not just to overcome the fire, but to display light in the midst of it. Today I invite you to make a decision. Where will you stand when the fire falls? Will you allow it to consume you, or will you let it refine you? Will you run in fear or stand firm in faith? Will you continue to cling to the fleeting things, or will you let go to receive the eternal? This decision is one that no one can make for you, only you can choose. But know this, I have given you everything, warning, calling in my open arms. You only need to step forward. You only need to say, Lord, I surrender. And when you do, the fire will no longer be your enemy, but your companion, leading you into a new season, a new life, and a new glory. My child, I will never leave you. Even if you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Even if you walk through the fire, the flames will not burn you. Isaiah 4:3-2. This is a certain, unchanging promise. Hold on to this promise, and you will find that you have the strength to face any trial. You will not only survive, but you will be a conqueror. You will not just walk out of the fire, but you will carry light to shine for many others. And one day, when you stand before me in eternity, you will hear the words I long to say, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Matthew 2:5-1. That is the final reward for those who remain steadfast through the fire. My child, the fire is coming, but it is not the end. It is the door opening to a new chapter, the tool I use to purify, strengthen, and make you useful for my kingdom. Do not fear, do not shrink back, do not hesitate. Step forward with faith, for I, the Eternal One, am walking with you. And as you walk, you will realize that the fire is no longer a symbol of destruction, but a symbol of new life. Let that fire do its complete work, and you will see that from the ashes, a glorious life will rise up, shining for all to see. Thank you for listening to today's message. Please hit subscribe and turn on notifications so we can together receive the living words, build unshakable faith, and walk in the infinite love of God. Amen.